Hello and welcome to Vengeance 2017 at Element Games Gaming Centre. We are covered here today by Steamforged on Twitch livestream, and it is Brewers versus Butchers on the stream today.
It is indeed. So it's going to be a fillet lineup. We've already got one captain on the side of the Butchers.
Yep. So our players are Ed Churchman and Ryan Newland.
So just going through captains, obviously Ryan going to be going with Fillets, the only captain in his 10, whereas Ed does have both Tapper and Esters.
But he
it's
does.
Esters. It's gone for Esters.
And for Esters.
And we've got a Truffles down.
Yeah, of course. Rocket sausage.
And a quaff. So we knew what both mascots were going to be. Both only had. Oh, sorry, no. Ryan did have both mascots on his, but he's opted for Truffles.
Which kind of makes sense because
and
if you want Boiler, you want Princess.
We'll go to Ed.
That's loud. Right.
Ed just deciding what he wants to do. And Ed opts to receive.
So that is the Brewers receiving the ball. So that's going to be ideal for them again. And I assume we'll see Fillet kicking off. Depending on team composition, but that would be my gut feeling.
Yeah.
So we see Mash go down first for the Brewers. Countered by Meat Hook. Then Friday. Then Veteran Ox. Then giving some thought for Ed here.
He's gone for Pint
Pot.
Pot.
Countered by Vet Brisket. Spigot, Veteran Spigot for the Brewers, and then Tenderizer for... Do you want to give a line rundown there?
So
I'll get the cards ready.
We've got some interesting choices there. I mean, there's another interesting pair of 10s here. So Ed's 10, Tapper, Quaff, Hooper, Pint Pot, B Spigot, Friday, Stave, Stoker, Mash, and Esters. So no regular Spigot in there.
No regular Spigot?
No regular Spigot,
so
which is surprising.
Is it more towards a football game? And with Spigot Mash Friday, that is definitely a footballing Brewer team.
Interestingly, though, with a footballing Brewer team, Quaff. No scum in the 10 again.
No scum. You want scum in there.
And
no scum in the 10 is interesting because he's got Tapper in the 10.
Tapper and Friday.
Tapper and Friday, and they both benefit from having scum there.
Yes, just such obvious synergy there.
Get over here and tactical advice. Brewer players, what's the deal? Let us know in Twitch chat that something we're obviously missing. Yeah.
And then moving over to the Butcher side, slightly more standard. I guess you'd expect to see when there's no Ox in the lineup.
Yep.
I don't think there's too much different in here. Interestingly, neither player's taking any Union across their 10.
No, nice to see Pure Guild in use.
And for Ryan, we've got a 10 of Fillet, Princess, Truffles, Vet Ox, Vet Brisket, Meat Hook, Boar, Boiler, Shank, and Tenderizer. I'm interested to see no normal brisket.
Yes, if, no normal brisket in the lineup at all.
No normal brisket in the 10, which,
this feels like the velocity thing from game 1, where you're not taking your ball holder.
A bit of that, and
goal threat.
I don't know if perhaps... I know she took a bit of a hit on her damage output, but with no Ox, maybe that might be why people are leaning away from...
Maybe, but in the games I played at the Rusty Cup, she was fantastic for me. She's got Dirty Knives, which is the damage debuff, which against the Brewers is just brilliant because they're defense 3 anyway. Taking them down to 2 is mean you hit your really high damage on your playbook, and without Ox, that means you get those higher results.
Yep.
She's a 1-inch unpredictable, but defense 5 armor 1 against males means that taking the ball off her is so difficult.
Yeah.
That if you've seen this team go down, you've seen Friday, you've seen Veteran Spigots, because you've seen Mash, you think she'd be if she was in the list, you think she'd be going out on the pitch because she's got that ability to just deny the ball to a very obvious footballing team.
What is interesting is you see a goalkeeper against a goal-scoring team.
Yep.
Tenderizer is probably going to do some work this game.
I would assume so. So with the Brewers having such linear goal paths, this makes Tenderizer an ideal matchup because he can't be dodged into. There's no dodges for this guild.
It's going to be a case of having to get up there, get him engaged,
and
just sacrifice someone.
To keep him
it's likely
engaged.
They're going down.
Yeah.
And I can't see an obvious target for who that sort of pseudo-tank's going to be. I cannot see who you're going to be throwing up there. It takes Esters too long to get there.
Yeah.
Mash isn't survivable enough to be able to do it and needs Esters in tow to be close.
So
Friday, no Spigot to keep her alive, and if Spigot's that far up the table, you're in trouble anyway.
Yeah, because that means you've got 2 players up there.
Vet Spigot, not
Vet Spigot's an
probably the
interesting
closest.
one. He's probably the one who can do it. His heroic gives him defense 4, armor 1. His counterattack, if he's within 8, he gets poised. 8 inches of the board edge, he gets poised, so he can counterattack things, push people away.
Both teams do have access to
multiple 2-inch
+1
melees as well.
Multiple 2-inch melees.
Hooray!
Finally. Both teams have the potential of damage modifiers.
Yep.
So you've got Estes who can throw at her +1 with her song and obviously her legendary, and then you've got Meat Hook with Tooled Up.
Yep.
Interesting.
Have we got a Boar? Was he in there?
Interestingly, no Boar. He's in the lineup, but no Boar in the 6.
Boar's an interesting one. I personally would take Boar against Brewers.
Yeah.
Because Brewers are so linear, there's no way to really get up there and engage him. And once he is your last activation, that sort of
Rap Daddy.
Go in.
Big damage modifiers.
Big damage. I'm going to go in, wrap, just get high damage, and finish someone off.
Yeah.
And against a team that's majority 3-1, you're very likely to do a damage.
I mean, you've just got that terrifying thing when you're playing against Brewers where you got the sort of low end on the defensive stats.
Yeah.
You're vulnerable to wraps. You're looking across the table from a team that has 2 TAC 8 players.
Yep.
You're already suspecting you're going to be on the receiving end of some wraps, and they just don't. The Brewers lineup does not look equipped to deal with the damage output, whereas the Butchers lineup seems a lot more rounded.
Yep.
It has the potential for goals. It's got that snowball effect if they get that brisket goal.
Get that goal, they get the extra influence, and they just keep piling the damage on.
You look at the lineup. So the peculiar thing about this lineup is, yes, it's 2 2-inch melees, but it does have Veteranox and Tenderizer, whereas very often you see either or.
Yep. Both sort of fill that defensive midfield role quite nicely. So this is Meat Hook kicking off, I believe. Is it? No. Is it?
I think it.
Oh no, that's Meat Hook. I like on the line because she's got the
Fillet then.
Meat Hook up. It must be Fillet then.
So just pushing that threat range.
Yep.
Everyone knows how far she can go.
Yeah, she's crazy good.
It's an unusual kick.
Why so much love for the dog, a.k.a. Quaff? Yeah, very good. Cat's gone stray. Ed's got some support in the Twitch chat. And guys, call the result now. We're not going to say anything this time because commentators curse.
Well, I can't help but feel like we've kind of implied we suspect this is favouring the Butchers.
This is favouring the Butchers, I think. So
a decent kick there. I believe it was 5 to the 1. So direction 5, 1 inch takes it just over the line. So one of those kind of no man's land kicks where Ed has to react to that because Philip can go and get that.
And then gets to stand in fast ground next turn to score. The problem with this is obviously Mash can sprint, get the ball, and he's so far away from anyone that...
But he's not on the side of the 2-inch melees. He's safe over there.
He is.
Interestingly, from deployment on Ryan's side, obviously he knew Mash was going to be on that side.
Yep.
And he's deployed both 2-inch melee models. I mean, granted, they're going to be more kind of... Not that we didn't really have that much positional play in that regard, but they are going to be more defensive midfielders. I shouldn't imagine they're going to be high pitch. Definitely Tenderizer, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm intrigued to see what happens if the countercharge goes, whether Ryan opts to draw him back afterwards or if he just uses an outfield
just
player.
Get him out there, get the ground pound going.
Well, I wonder if that decision almost hinges on if he's got a goal with Veteran Brisket beforehand, because once you've got the influence to fuel it, it's an easier decision to make.
So it's such a good character play. In fact, it's a pulse. You don't have to roll dice. You just knock down the Brewers, and they've got no defensive tech against being knocked down. You make it so easy for the rest of your guild.
We've got Ed just throwing out, it looks like a...
so he's not going for the ball immediately. Put the fire down in front of Philip. Slow her down. Clever. Makes it she has to go around it.
And then he's going to drop that blaster.
That rough ground.
But he needs to be careful that he doesn't do himself here.
Expose Estes.
Well, partly expose Estes and partly because now he's got to deal with that rough ground as well.
Yeah. But I guess from where he is there, Mash can still go it, snap it, and not be affected by the rough ground.
Yeah.
And she's given herself +1 defense, anticipating Philip coming in.
And then Mash can go in, get long bomb on the go, and hopefully have someone to pass it to.
He lost long bomb.
Oh, he did
in
lose
season
long
3.
bomb.
He gained super shot, and how's that?
Okay, so super shot would get him up to 8. I still think he's in the middle of nowhere for that.
Yeah, he's in no man's land.
But it looks like we're looking at which player's that one up in the
corner.
That
is Veteran Brisket.
That is Vet Brisket. So
she's got the axe thingy behind her head.
So yeah, I mean even.
So quick.
Even
I guess quick time sprint minus. So just ignoring the -2
he's going
basically.
for the sprint and then the quick time. So he goes to the edge of the rough. Then a quick time.
Quick time, mate.
And then I'm assuming this will be a pass
to
back to Philip.
Yep.
And then the dodge. Does he need to dodge? Doesn't want to dodge.
Doesn't need to dodge forwards.
But that's what I
Philip.
mean about that fire.
Yeah.
Putting that fire where that fire is.
Mm.
He's just meant that Mash is
Out of it.
Yeah.
To fill it, and we'll be able to tell you they are successful.
So 2 5s and a 2, so he gets the success he needs.
Oh, so sorry. Before we declare mistakes, let them play. Who knows? He might have new Brewer tech figured out.
Super secret Brewer tech.
Yeah. Which figures are these? These are the Brewers Guild versus the Butchers Guild. And I'm going to apologise now. I have a horrible habit of naming these two guilds incorrectly. I don't know what it is, but I constantly will call Brewers Butchers and Butchers Brewers. So, sorry now.
Reds and yellows.
Red and yellow.
Red is the Butchers, yellow is the Brewers.
Yeah.
Surely you can't mess that up.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. In the Twitch chat there, Eisen Sapper says, doesn't he have Tapper, not Esters? He has both in his list, and he has opted to use Esters for this matchup.
So we've just seen a pint token used to get the Heroic up on Pint Pot. And we are back over to the Butcher's activation. And now looking at...
What did he?
So that's Meat Hook moving up.
He used a beer token there to
He
do
used
that.
a beer token to pop up his Heroic.
Cool. Okay, so somebody who's just joined us missed the draft. So whilst they're thinking, let's give a rundown of the players
so
out.
just for 2 seconds, we've just had Meat Hook tool up.
Oh.
Just had Meat Hook tool up Fillet, so we're going to have a missile going.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in terms of the 10, Ed had Tapper, Quaff, Hooper, Pint Pot, Vet Spigot, Friday, Stave, Stoker, Mash and Esters. And he selected Esters, Quaff, Pint Pot, Vet Spigot, Friday and Mash. And for Ryan, his 10 was Fillet, Princess, Truffles, Veteran Ox, Veteran Brisket, Meat Hook, Boar, Boiler, Shank and Tenderizer. And selected Fillet, obviously, Truffles, Vet Ox, Vet Brisket, Meat Hook and Tenderizer.
So whilst you were saying that, Quaff just went. He put Bag of Quaffers onto Friday and gave Hooper second wind. Veteran Spigot second wind.
Okay. So setting up probably for a return goal, assuming that there's going to be a shot on goal coming in. I'm assuming from the token you can see there that Esther did sing. Do we know what she's sung for?
She put defense on herself, so
Okay.
she's currently 4-1 with Gluttonous Mass.
Okay, so Pint Pot's going to be the target of this fillet charge, you'd suspect.
Very
I wonder
likely.
if he's going to pass that back for the extra 4 inches.
Pass the ball back to...
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't know if from where he is, he's got the threat range to get to Pint Pot. And I don't know if he'd go into Esther's.
Mash there, clambering over the...
Mash going for a wander.
Mash sprinting forwards, put up Super Shot. They've just... You're welcome, guys, and the thing for liking this. We've just had them...
Commenting on that is a peculiar move. I mean, it's not. It's a good move.
Yeah.
But it's a head scratcher as to why he's chosen to go on top rather than on the side, because this now means when he activates next, he has to walk. He can't sprint. He can't charge. He can't sprint.
Yeah.
He can only walk. So he's basically just reduced his threat range.
Yeah. Oh, Vet Spigot.
Okay, so there goes that theory of the return goal.
Sprinting up and then second wind.
So he's just making sure he's within 8 inches of the board edge.
Yep.
Just to take advantage of it. He gets poised, correct? Free counter attack.
Okay. Vet Ox probably out of range there, I reckon.
See, actually, I feel like Ryan might be falling for bait here.
Yeah.
Because Vet Ox would be really out of position. I mean, I don't know if he's looking to just shove Spigot off the pitch. But that is going to move him out of position. He wants to be in the middle of the pitch.
Yep, he wants to be in the thick of it, taking damage, dishing it back.
Does he want to be in the middle of the pitch against Brewers, though? I don't know. Could he take the beating of dragging everyone in against Brewers? I don't know.
Interestingly, just as a tidbit, we've got the only models with Rowdy in the game.
Yep, both models are Rowdy.
Fighting each other
Patty.
with no negatives. I want to see a Rowdy off.
And another game where you see Pint Pot without Tapper. Obviously, Tapper is the one that you tend to want. Granted, Estes can pump the damage up.
Yep. Bag of Quaffers is... that was a dirty knife against Veteran Ox. Just hit there from Friday. She Shadow Light forwards.
Successfully hit
sprinted
that,
or
so
jogged.
that's 1 damage and poison.
So that's 1 damage to Vetronox.
And is that the first point of damage?
It is, yes.
And how much health does Vetox start with?
Vetronox begins with 19
so
health.
He's now on 18 health.
Yep. It looks like we're seeing a map out for Billet here. These reach templates that we're seeing in the Muse, I really enjoy using them in my games. They make your melee zone so clear.
Yes.
Because something that whenever I put down a 2-inch melee one of them is you realise just how much the curvature of your melee zone affects where you can and can't go.
Can't go. Yep. No, it's
look at that.
and that's an unfortunate knock
nudge.
there. But
Just do what you want. It doesn't
both
matter.
players
Top table. It doesn't matter.
Both players seem to not have too much issue with that. Another peculiar choice of measuring out a melee zone against a model with unpredictable movement. Will we get a third game?
Hey.
A third game of that happening.
Yep.
We got a pass.
So we see Philip here passing to Brisket, I believe. Going back.
Taking the dodge.
It was successful. Dodging 4 inches forwards. And I think we're looking at Pint Pot here as the potential victim.
Yeah, I assumed that was where we were going. He doesn't want to be putting that ball in the back of the net with anyone other than veteran Brisket.
No.
When you've taken Tenderizer, you ideally want to be sorting that deficit as quick as possible.
Yep. So walking 7 inches forwards into base contact with Pint Pot. No momentum for the Brewers so far, so no counterattacks coming in. He does have Gluttonous Mass effectively through Come On Then.
Is this the last activation of the turn? I believe it is.
Yes.
Because
Everything else is
Ryan,
moved.
despite having complete control of the ball, did receive.
Yeah.
Sorry, did kick.
Did kick. Sorry. Let's get Twitch back up. Someone in Twitch chat says, I've never played Guild Ball before. I have no idea what's going on. Go Sports.
I mean, yeah, sure.
That's about right, yeah.
Fake dice sports. Woo.
How many health boxes does Giblin have?
Just the one.
Just one.
He's only got 1 heart.
Very fragile.
Yep. Fragile little poppy. I almost said Giblin has permanent gluttonous mass and then realised that's probably more insulting than intended.
Mean. So here, just railing some attacks into Pint Pot. That was a momentous 4 damage. He is bleeding, and she is tooled up. 13 health left on Pint Pot. Oh, rolling hot fire.
That's a big roll.
Momentous 5 damage. Oh, 8 health remaining for poor old Pint Pot there.
Shout out to Ed for calling out how much health his players have got left.
You,
that
Ed.
makes our life easier.
So much easier, especially when we're talking and we miss the dice roll.
For anyone watching and wants advice on, etiquette at tournaments, always good to call out how much health your players have got. Get into that habit.
5 hits after that one. 5 more momentous damage. That's 3 left. He will die to bleed in the maintenance phase.
And that bleed would be exactly lethal on Pint Pot there.
Oh, what? I'm just getting slammed in the Twitch chat here. Jamie has uncharming everything. -1 defense to everything living.
What about dead stuff?
Is
that not covered?
There are no undead in this game. And that is the
end of the turn.
End of turn 1. And
what's the momentum looking like?
Stacks. I think it's 4-0 in favour of the Butchers.
And that will be 2 VPs to Ryan after the takeout in the maintenance phase from the bleed condition. Yep. Obviously, no momentum generated by Ryan there, though.
No, but 2 VPs to Ryan. And Ox takes 2 more damage from poison.
2 from poison,
so
leaving him on
16 health. And then they're just going to tidy the table, take off all the tokens. So +4, and it understandably goes to the Butchers. So Butchers choosing to go first, and the Brewers getting their important point of momentum for counterattacks. which against Fillet is so important.
And Ed, even after that, sounds so cheerful.
He does.
Had to say the atmosphere around here at the Northwest Gaming Centre is so positive. Everything there's a really nice atmosphere, despite the fact this is an awful lot of Guild Ball going on in a room.
Oh,
it's a hot, sweaty room, I think it's fair to say, but there's such a nice atmosphere around the room.
Yeah, all very chilled out, even though these games are quite important to some people. A big, 116-player event is quite a prestigious thing to win, but there's been no... there we are. We've got a view of the room. Very, very busy at Element Games. Lots of people playing Guild Ball, and just great atmosphere all round. Just going to influence allocation. I got a big stack on Fillet. Looks like 3 on Ox. Plenty on Veteran Brisket. Going for that first turn goal, most likely. And
How much
Pint Pot coming on.
Pint Pot come back on with?
Pint Pot comes back on with 10.
With 10.
So, Pint Pot there got his...
Pint Pot, bringing Pint Pot on is kind of, it's one of those tough decisions because you know how quick Fillet is and the places you can and can't go.
So I think he's brought him
just
on in the correct place.
The problem that he's got, he cannot go. The only player that he can send to get that ball off Vet Brisket is Mash, but the positioning of Mash on there, he's too slow to get there now.
Yeah, he has to walk to get there. So what we're looking at here is, can Veteran Brisket use Pint Pot to bounce off to get the goal? Now, Veteran Brisket, if I'm not mistaken, has some dodges, but they are high on the playbook, and it's only a double dodge, so we're going to have to see if she can make it from 1 inch away.
Is that momentous?
It is not momentous, so she needs to go in, hit.
So she can't get the result she wants on the charge.
Unless she gets a little cheeky little wrap.
I'm not sure how likely that is.
9 dice, 3s and 1.
What's the odds? Giblin?
You
hook us up with some sweet odds.
You get 6 dice on average because it's 3s to hit,
so
and then 1 off promise of 5.
So not a wrap. You need to spike slightly.
You need a small spike on average dice to get it. So not out of the realms of belief, but also not
one
reliable.
To bank on.
Not reliable.
When you're in so much control, and obviously, I can't help but feel like he's rushing this unnecessarily.
Yes.
I can't help but feel like Brisket is so safe. Pint Pot can't get her. She's got unpredictable movement. Pint Pot cannot have any impact on what happens here. I can't help but think that he holds off, goes and generates some momentum, maybe even with Vet Ox down on Spigot.
Now, if she is within 8 inches of the edge, she pays 1 less to charge.
But that still doesn't change the result you're looking for.
Cameraman's just fallen over.
It doesn't change the result you're looking for at all.
No,
because the charge is you need that double dodge.
The charge needs a double dodge, but then after that you need everything to hit to be able to hit your double dodge again. So not a reliable one. Don't think they should start off with that, to be honest.
No, I think you go with... I think it's Vet Ox down here. Just go and maybe charge in on Spigot. Try and get him off the pitch.
Potentially, has he got that much? Has he got push?
Maybe he hasn't got
No,
any
he pushes towards himself. He pulls people in.
Yes.
Not away.
My mistake.
That's all right, no worries. I don't think Ox is the great one to start with, to be honest. I think you go with Fillet and kill someone. I think.
But who?
Friday's currently 4s and 1. They just measured. She's not within 4 inches of.
Perhaps that is the play. She seems to be pretty stacked up with influence also.
Yeah, you spend your 6 and rob them of 4, and it looks like that's about to happen. Whose Brewer model is between Fillet and Ox? That's Friday. So choosing not to counter. Needing 4s and 1. Oh, good rolls. So 4 successes after armor. That's Blood Rain. So 2 damage to Friday and bleed. And that puts her down to, I believe,
health.
12.
10 health. She starts on 12. So she's got 10 health left.
10 health left. Another decent roll. 3 net hits after armor. That'll be 3 damage, I believe. Just hold up. Momentous 3 damage.
3 damage down to 7.
Yeah, goodbye Friday from Azrael the Dark. I think you are correct.
It's Saturday.
Get out. Get out. 4 net hits after armor. 3 more momentous damage.
So 4
health remaining. Taking the dodges, trying to get closer over to...
that +1 modifier from the bleeding, getting work done here.
Yes, yep. Fillet is killing it, you're right. Another great
That's
roll.
a huge roll.
5
All
net
fives and
hits after
sixes.
armor.
That would be
Momentous 4?
Momentous
Killer?
5,
Or do you
isn't
now
it?
just start churning it?
Maybe. How much influence is left on Philip? I mean,
I think she's got a small stack left on her. I think you start. No, you're not going to be able to reach there to get the extra attacks, especially when you just.
I think
he's
he's just checking to see if the pulse is worth taking. Get some bleed out on Spigot, just to give him a decision point.
Yeah, so here we are. We're just going to farm a little bit of momentum off of her. She is likely.
So 1 health left on Friday after the 2 damage up to 3.
Yeah. 5-1 is good def tech. Now, Sid, the coach, you will be right. 5-1 is good, but unfortunately,
just outside of Spigot.
Just outside of Spigot's range, he went a little bit too far forward. So
3 successes on that attack. So can't take a result that doesn't kill her.
Yeah. That is 4-0 to the Butchers.
And how many attacks was that? Was that 5 in total? So
it
comes out of that with 6 momentum.
Yep.
Including the momentum for the takeout.
There's a dodge left, and then 1 influence, which, what a shame. That's wasted.
Gone. Poor Philip.
Yeah. Not optimal play.
So, I mean, the big one here is that mash placement has just left mash in no man's land.
Yeah, he cannot help. But Spigot here charging into Veteran Ox. Battle of the Veterans.
Battle of the Veterans.
Players there just confirming that Mash has a 2-inch melee. I think Ryan is plotting out his goal with Veteran Brisket there.
The route he takes. Yeah, because as it stands, I mean, would a quick time on herself, surely that's less than 18 inches.
Yeah, I think you could sprint forward 8 inches, quick time, and then have a shot in.
Yeah.
You quick time past Mash.
Yeah, I think that's probably correct. You can cut in quite close to that. As long as you don't go in base to base with Mash, you can quick time out.
Yeah. Oh dear. Doesn't look good for Brewers.
Does not look good for the Brewers. The way that he unpacked his team, he just doesn't seem focused towards it. Butchers.
There doesn't seem to be a clear goal in mind for the Brewers here.
No.
Veteran Spigot wasn't even charging in. He just was sprinting in to engage.
Or just walking in.
That's feeding.
Just walking in.
That's feeding the Butchers. Oh dear. The Brewer game, you really want to, and against Butchers you can do it a little bit better, where you want to force them to come to you one at a time, and you deal with them slowly. It's So
players just discussing previous games.
Yeah. Not giving us much to comment on.
No.
Come on, Ed.
Well, pull your finger out.
It's a stalling tactic. He's stalling on his clock.
Yep, that's
legitimate tactic.
Good tactic.
So, guys in Twitch chat are saying that Tapper should be the one for this fight. What do you think? Going in, knowing you're going in against Philip, because there's only one captain choice, do you take Esther or
Esther's has
Tapper?
a heroic, which is very, very good against Philip. If you can get... I think the case is with both captains, if you don't get control of the game early, it's just going to snowball out of control. Yeah. Because once you're losing one player at a time, your sort of gang-up strategy of getting in a ball and just traipsing up the pitch. So second win going on Mash there from Quaff.
And Bag of Quaffers.
But Mash is currently nowhere near being able to engage anyone because unless there's a rules error coming up, he's in no man's land.
Yeah.
And we're back to the brisket activation.
Someone's asking, is this the 12-0 Table of Doom? It seems that way, doesn't it?
It seems that way so far.
Obviously, we can't comment. Gilball can swing on a dice roll.
Yeah.
I mean, if the shot is missed...
Yeah, game on if the shot gets missed.
If the shot is missed, then there's no Butcher players available to go collect that ball. They have to come into the Brewer territory. With 3 dice, probably 4 with a bonus time, needing a single 4+. It's pretty likely, but I'm sure we've all been there.
Looks like he's going to be out of range. Doesn't look like he can get there without bouncing off somebody.
Oof.
It doesn't matter how many times you move those widgets, Ryan. You are not going to be in range, I'm afraid.
So it looks like there is a path.
But
You'd have to engage Mash, which would trigger his unpredictable, so he's going to jump into you.
Yep.
And you're going through the dogs.
Yep.
base, so that'd be -2 modifier to your dice. So you'd be down to 1, back up to 2 dice. 2 dice shot on goal, needing a 4+, I'd still take it.
That's with a bonus time, right?
With a bonus time, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I would, purely on the case that you've got so much control over this game.
Yeah.
The only way he can get back into this is by getting the ball, and there's no way that he gets the ball yet.
That is a very fair point. Just looking at the table state at the moment, there's no influence on meat hook, no influence on tenderizer, no influence on truffles. There's some on Vetronox. That's likely to be 3 momentum on that side of the board. If you take Veteran Brisket away, there is no way for the Brewers to generate momentum.
Correct.
And you keep your 3 and your stack, and you go first, and you do it at the start of the turn.
Assuming no counterattacks, if we've worked out the momentum right, that would leave him with 9 momentum to end the turn on.
8 momentum. There's 5 behind him there.
So did he spend some momentum for? I'm just because he had 5 attacks to take out Friday. Or was that 4 attacks?
He was on 6, unless he spent some to do something. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe
they're stacked up and I can't see. Potentially there's one underneath there.
So did Truffles just move up a little, or are they measuring other routes?
Potentially measuring routes. I think Esther's is planning something. Ed is planning.
But what was the Butcher's activation there? Did the pig just walk forward? Is it someone just
potentially
moved forward?
Oh, Mehook's come
just
forward
a little bit.
I guess this is the thing. The Butcher player here can waste, in inverted
he can
comments,
just take his time.
These other activations, and as soon as somebody comes to threaten Veteran Brisket, she can just leave.
Yeah, I mean it's a part of tournament play that you kind of have to get used to, is when to push and when not to, and it's working out that sort of really fine balance of when you're getting greedy and when you're doing the right thing.
Yep.
He doesn't need a goal would be great here, and a goal would help assert what he wants to do.
Yeah, but safe play.
What does in the long run?
If
that goal is there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that goal does not need to be rushed in any way, shape, or form. He has no player in any danger at the moment due to that peculiar position of Mash.
+2 speed sung onto Mash.
+2 speed onto Mash. So he's currently going to be walking
6 inches.
No, walking 8, right? He walks 4 normally, so he would walk 6.
Yeah.
And he can't speed up. And then throwing down that blaster to now mean that he...
side of the player. Surely you go on the other side.
If you go on the opposite side, then it means that Mash doesn't have to go through that, assuming that's the direction.
I believe that one's got the 10-inch range, hasn't it? Yeah, Blast Earth's got the 10-inch range. That could definitely go on the other side of...
Yeah. I mean, Ed seems to be very focused on stopping this goal happening.
Yeah.
And he doesn't... He can't.
No.
The goal's going to come.
The goal will happen at some point. Unless the dice miss.
Unless he misses, yeah.
Fishmonger McSteam says, Ed will turn this around. We have faith in the bearded Ed God.
I see.
Well, we wish Ed the best of luck. It looks dire from our situation.
Yes, it does look pretty... That is a rough start to lose 2 players that early when your opponent has the ball.
And you just know at the start of turn... This is
currently turn 2.
The start of turn 3, that's a dead spigot.
Yes, that is a very dead spigot. The model just sitting on the halfway line is fillet, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, that's going to be a dead spigot.
He's going to take some damage from Vetronox this turn, which should probably be 6 damage likely.
Does he just soften him up with fillet and let Ox take it to get his trait up, or do you think that's greedy?
He's so far out the way. He's so far out the way that even if he got his trait up, what's called the old ways, that he'd be so far out of the fight anyway that it wouldn't make a difference in that turn, unless the Brewers push up hugely.
And ultimately, we're at a point here where if we assume Spigot's going to go down to fillet, and we assume the goal is coming,
that's 10-0.
That's 10 VPs at that point, and fillet just kills something.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of those it's the same situation that we had in the last game, where if this goes to a point where we currently have 2 takeouts and we see a goal and 8 VPs, you've got to be so careful with scoring.
The Brewers can't score again, and they have to play a very long game that Fillet is more than happy to play with them, because it's far easier for Fillet to go and pick off their weaker
if she can just dance
players
around their threat ranges.
Yep, she's got the dodges.
The only time that isn't going to be the case is if Ed could get a situation where he scores with the last activation and goes into that initiative role likely to win it because he's up on momentum.
So just to get, whilst they're chatting about what they're going to do, just to going through there's been quite a lot of chatter in Twitch. Support for Brewers. Eddie's been a good pundit and letting Ryan get some points.
Yeah.
Before he comes back.
Yeah.
Who kicked off this game? The Butchers kicked off.
Butchers kicked off.
And Ed did not go and collect the ball with Mash, which at this point in the game seems to have been a mistake.
Yeah. It really does.
Allowing Phillip to collect the ball, pass it to Brisket to collect the ball.
The kick was done. The kick was done with Phillip.
Yep.
And basically that left Phillip in a position where after the ball was retrieved by the Butchers player, Phillip was just in such a strong position to go in and just delete Pint Pot, and then goes into the next turn, starts that turn by deleting a fully loaded Friday, and this turn has just been an uphill struggle. Yeah. And again, I keep coming back to it, that questionable Mash positioning has just meant that he's got the best threat range out of everyone on that team, and he's plonked on some cover where he only has one choice. There is no way he can really boost that threat range outside of the Esther's song, but it's still not far enough.
No. So we see here Friday is going in on Pint Pot and has spent one for the charge. She was within 8 inches. Veteran Brisket, sorry, yes. Triggers the heroic that was used via the beer token. Yeah. So looking for 3s and 1, and only gets one
success.
Net success, but that's 1 momentous damage.
So Pint Pot on 9 health there.
Yep. I mean, this is something we can see as well. Meat Hook, next turn, she's speedy. She might be in range to get in there.
Yep.
3 net hits after armor. That's likely to be 2 momentous damage and a push or a dodge. Oh no, just 2 momentous.
Just awaiting the playbook result selection here from Ryan.
Yep. Sure, it doesn't take this long to pick 2 momentums damage, does it?
Yeah, takes the momentous
2 momentous damage. Sorry, I was waiting there for the confirmation from players.
Down to 7 health.
4 momentous. 4 hits. It's going to be 2 momentous damage, I assume again. So. Or ball's gone. 2 non-momentous then.
It's gone for 2 non-momentous with the double dodge.
You assume here that the Brewers can't generate momentum, so you can take that because you've got more than 5 in your store.
Obviously, Pint Pot can't do anything against Brisket because of the unpredictable movement. And again, this all comes down to peculiar deployment.
Yep.
And so peculiar unpacking positioning from that Mash.
Ed's just commented, and we've heard it there, that he regrets putting the fire where it was because it's now blocked off Mash from going in and dealing with Veteran Brisket.
And then he takes the second wind movement just to boost him forward.
Are you just feeding them Mash here now?
The 2-inch melee players are the wrong side. He does still have unpredictable.
They are. I mean, Tenderizer, he's going first. Tenderizer can charge. If he stays out of 6 inches, then he gets unpredictable and jumps away.
But even if he knocks him down, he still gets unpredictable. And you've got to cycle through so many players to get to a point where...
I mean, there is... Okay, he's been sensible and kept out of 1 inch of Meat Hook. What I was going to say with Meat Hook is that she could have thrown him round, forced him to activate next, which then means that nothing can happen to B Brisket.
So free poised because he's within 8 inches, so that would be a free counter attack.
That's
from
Veteran
Spigot.
Initially attacking Spigot.
So 3-1, and we're on 7 dice.
Yep.
Dice goes flying out the dice tray. Not a great roll.
Nope.
Only 2 successes on that one.
So he's got a choice of 1 damage, a push, a tackle, or
he just takes
get
the
stuck
1
in.
damage. So Vet Spigot on 15
Spigot
health now.
Spigot gets 2 net successes after armor. Not a push, but you are in base contact, so you can't do anything.
So he's contemplating just taking the 1-inch push to push him out of cover.
I mean, this is probably where Spigot has made the mistake of going into base contact.
I'm not sure why Spigot's so far up the pitch.
No. I mean, it feels like the right thing thematically to do to get your striker close to the goal, but you are just allowing the Butchers to attack him.
Yeah.
If he'd stayed further back, stayed near Friday, Friday wouldn't have been as tempting a target for Phillip. Oh. So 5 successes from
successes
Veteranox
on
there.
So just to clarify, when we say successes, we mean after armor.
After armor,
so
yeah.
that's the net hits.
Yeah. Looks like 3 momentous. Oh,
No,
chooses the
he's gone for
knockdown. Yeah, I guess that sets up Philip next turn or himself, just securing this kill.
The pain train.
Yep.
And we've got another initiative roll with the butchers at +4. So the butcher does elect to go first. Interestingly, in this matchup, dependent on the table state, there could be some occasions where you choose to go second. If you're outside of all those threat ranges, granted that tends to be more something that would happen in turn 2, depending on the way you've set up. But yeah, obviously selecting to go first, he's just going to push his advantage. And I'm assuming this is going to be a Fillet go in and get rid of Veteran Spigot. He's on the floor, he can't get his poised.
It makes the most sense. He's
9 dice.
9 dice, 2s and 1. You don't even need to think. A stiff breeze knocks him over.
Does also kind of depend where Friday comes back on, perhaps.
Yes.
And where allocation goes. Because Fillet, depending on how far up the table Friday comes in, if she comes on this side, might just be a better target, depending on where the influence allocation goes. At that point, it's like, I can kill either of them. Who has the most influence?
An interesting thing I'd like to see, if I could head my own widgets, is if Friday came in, hit the fast ground, came 8 inches directly towards Bet Brisket. If Pine Pot wasn't there, could she shadow-like to get...
I think that might be what he's looking at. So it's an 8-inch jog on.
No, he's not taking full advantage there. He should have his base on the other side of that because you place and then you move.
Yeah. So either way, I think it's safe to say from there that the shadow-like wouldn't have got him in.
No.
So it's not a make or break. Though, arguably, I mean, what's the setup there? Does he dirty knives and mash?
Sorry, I just have a little chuckle. Warlock in here, mash when he was stood on top of the logs. It's over, Brisket. I have the higher ground.
Yep, sure.
Sure, mash.
That went perfect for you.
Yeah.
And again, just shows the questionable exclusion of regular Spigot.
Yeah, I mean, regular Spigot just seems like he was the right choice for the previous game, just went wrong.
Yeah.
With the pass back to him, and in this game, Veteran Spigot doesn't really bring much. You have Footballer in Friday, you have Footballer in Mash. You probably want to tool up Esther's so she can sing on herself and just really beat face.
But it comes down to team selection at the end of the day.
Yes.
When you're constructing a team that you're looking to build, you need to be asking yourself when you're building that team, every player you select, why are they there? And you don't want to overflood one role. If you've got 2 strikers, do you need a third?
Yeah. Because going 3 strikers, your aim of the game is score 3 goals.
Yeah.
That's what you're forcing yourself into. Butchers playing the game they want to play. It's on Veteran Brisket. It's safe. You have 1 2-inch melee near me. Is there only 1 2-inch melee on that team again?
Yeah, just mash.
Just mash. There's only 1 again, so the ball's very safe. And every turn it's on Veteran Brisket and no one else. That's the turn that Philip's killing someone and just getting closer and closer to their end game condition.
So looking at health numbers quickly, we'll do a quick rundown of health numbers while we're getting some decisions here. Esther's still on 22, Quaff on 8, Pint Pot on 5 health.
I think
Spigot on 15, Mash on 17, and Friday's just come back on.
Pint Pot's low health might be...
I mean, the concern is if he gets both of these here.
Yeah.
Friday's just come on. She's on, 5 or 6 boxes?
Decent health. I doubt Friday's going to go down. But with 5 health on Pint Pot and Veteran Brisket within 8 inches and be able to charge for 1, she means she gets 1 really big hit, likely to hit her 3 momentous. And then after that, the 2 momentous is very likely. So we see the roll here, 2 miss, 1 off for armor.
It's a good roll.
It's
6 successes.
It's a wrap. That's 4 momentous damage.
Yep, that's a big hit.
A 3 and a 1.
Assuming that's what he selects.
Yeah,
so he does. He takes the...
Pine Pot did use the point of momentum to declare a counter-attack.
So we've got a counter-attack.
Now, unfortunately, Pint Pot, his double push is non-existent.
Yeah. Cutting edge analysis there, Jamie.
Yeah. So he can't even.
So he can't survive
he can't
this one.
get away. The counter attack here was
Probably wasted.
the wrong choice.
It was
Save that momentum for someone else.
Yep. As Ed's just said, at the very least, it does mean that Friday won't be open to attack.
Yep. One more attack. Do you reckon we'll see some? No. There's no
I think
way.
he's just going to.
There's no way to not kill him.
After making this attack,
Quick time.
he's going to quick time towards the board edge to try and get away from Mash. Get it to a point where Mash has to come over that crate.
I think he's going to quick time directly away from Friday, so she can't shadow like in, tackle a ball.
Possibly.
And you accept Mash is going to come after you, and you can deal with that a bit better because you're still 4-1 against him, whereas Friday needs only one hit.
Interestingly, how's Mash's playbook in terms of tackles?
I believe he has 1 and 2.
Okay, so that's more reliable. I was interested to see whether the tackle or knockdown was more likely, because if you go for a knockdown, that scatters into the
centre and back towards Esther's.
Yeah.
Esther's just
I have
cheering.
it, finally. No one can get it off me, apart from Philip, probably, because
she'll just kill me.
She'll just kill me. So we've got Pint Pot on 1 health, we've got Friday on 6 health, but Friday will be safe. Oh, Pint Pot gone. Missed that one.
Yeah, that was the last result that just went in there. He got 3 hits from Veteran Brisket, takes the 2 momentous damage, or the 1.
So Pint Pot falls for a second time.
Yeah.
And we are 6 VPs to Ryan now.
That'll get updated any moment, just as soon as our camera guy wakes up.
He's having so much fun.
Yeah.
So was that a quick time straight towards Mash, was it? Went straight away from Brisket, straight towards Mash.
It goes straight towards Mash, but you accept that because you don't want Friday getting the ball. Yep. Because she would shadow like in, likely tackle, can attack to push you away again.
I mean, it's a rock and a hard place.
Oh, yeah. But he's not got the ball yet.
I'm not sure if that quick time was wise. I wonder if just a pass into space. Okay, so that's the tackle from Mash.
Momentous tackle. So that's Ed keeps his momentum. If you see where he puts his influence, the other Pringles tub lid, that's his momentum. So he's on 2.
Okie dokie. I can't help but wonder if...
Mash there whiffed his final attack, did nothing.
I can't help but wonder if Brisket would have been wiser kicking that ball into space.
Potentially.
Or even a pass to Meat Hook if Meat Hook was in range.
Oh dear, Mash missed his pass to Friday.
And
she intercepts it, fortunately. But no momentum, no dodge.
So I'm guessing he was going to be looking
for the 4-inch dodge. It's better than being on the fast ground because you got Shadow Leg, which is going to take you off.
Yeah, I'm just curious over where... Cause
go back to Esther's, I think.
Yeah,
Esther's is more route
possibly.
1, straight to goal.
Does she care about the counter charge either? Gluttonous Mass, keep her safe from the counter charge.
You take it, you can show you're at -1, but whatever. It's a shot on goal to try and get you desperately back in the game.
Knock him down.
Oh, yeah. Counter attack.
Knock him down.
Yeah. So measuring out there is for Friday, Shadow-like, walk, and then I shoot better after a beer for a 10-inch shot.
Yep.
Keeping us safe from Tenderizer. Tenderizer making the goal 5s. Maybe not. Ruining the plan.
Intelligent play from Ryan there, working out the most efficient line on goal for Friday and chucking Tenderizer in the way of it.
Surely Friday, Shadow Lake's over, passes it to Esther's.
And then just route 1 straight
and
up
route
the
1,
middle.
just go in for the goal. Then Esther's isn't in a terrible place then.
Esther's is activating now, so I suspect that's not going to be the plan. I think he might be thinking about potentially a legendary in all 3 on Esther's herself.
Yeah. So no, just +1 damage, 2 to charge Meat Hook. Yeah. Surely a defensive stance from
Can't help
Meat
but
Hook.
thinking legendary might have been the right call there. Because now Esther's is going to be left engaged by Meat Hook. That's never a nice place to be.
Oh, sorry, it's something we completely ignored. Nothing on Philip.
Interesting.
Not even 1 on Truffles. Come on, you always put 1 on Truffles for the charge and knockdown.
Yep.
or sprint to get into position for charge and knockdown.
Now, Ed questioning, just pointing out that the counter charge is available.
I guess this is an interesting one that you can say, do you want to counter charge me? Pulls him out of position for Friday, maybe trying to goad him into doing this. Yeah. I think Ryan here won't take the bait. Oh, he does.
He takes the bait.
No, he doesn't take the bait. Does he? What? Yeah, he does. He needs to move.
So just some confusion. Ryan rolled the dice before actually making the movement, but Ryan did take the bait. That's interesting. I'd say that's potentially a misplay. I don't think. Yeah. I think that's Ryan thinking that is more important than it was.
It's the whole thing with counter charge, with rush keeper, that when you get it, you really want to do it because someone's fallen into your cunning trap. But really, the best thing sometimes is just leave them where they are and have the threat.
9 times out of 10, if someone turns around, stands somewhere, and goes, "Oh, I ended up in your range," they probably meant to.
Yeah.
And goes for the push on the result from Meat Hook. And then the counter attack from Meat Hook going to be coming in now?
Yeah. Oh, Meat Hook, I believe, does have a double push very early in the playbook to disengage from this.
I think she might just be looking for the damage, get that snare and bleed in.
Hooked. No snare.
Oh, sorry, it's not snare, is it? It's just -1 death.
-1 death from
which
damage.
Is better.
Yeah. Yeah. So Meat Hook took 2 damage from that charge in. And in response, Estes took 1 damage, is hooked, and is bleeding.
Estes down to 21. Apparently Ed hates the fact that his pen has legs. Yeah. Interesting fact.
So hitting Meat Hook on 4 dice, hitting 4s and 1. Ed manages to get 1 success, which will be 2 damage most likely, or push. So
is that just 2 damage?
Yep.
Meat Hook on 10.
3 damage.
So Meat Hook on 7. Last attack.
Oh, and he whiffs. So now he's got the choice to use the heroic and clear the conditions.
Get rid of all. Yeah, she gets.
Meat
Hook does have +1 damage and +2 speed, so he has done the heroic on Estes.
So something that Ed had available to him there is that he could heroic to remove conditions and spend a momentum to heal. Yeah. Now he chose not to heal because she is still very healthy.
Yeah. Very close momentum-wise, this one.
Yep, so it's currently 2-2. And Ed could just then have spent all his attacks generating momentum if he wanted to, but he's working towards...
Want some VPs on the board.
Yep.
Very interestingly, if he gets that Meat Hook kill and gets a goal out of Friday, we're looking at a 6-6 game.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should see a Friday goal. So we've got Vet Ox attacking Vet Spigot.
Happening down there.
It's 2s to hit and all of hit, so that's a 6 net hits after armor, which is momentous 3 damage to Veteran Spigot.
So he will be on 12 health.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. That was against Estes from Meat Hook.
Estes on Meat Hook.
Yeah. Same dice, same.
So 18 on Estes.
Oh, they all hit again. Momentous 4 damage there. All the dice hitting. That is brutal.
Obviously, the attack makes her bleed again. Gets that modifier back on.
Yeah. And 5 net hits after armor this time.
Momentous 3.
Momentous 3 and a double push. Yeah, so 2 damage becomes 3 and a double push.
11 health on Estes now. So a pretty brutal round of attacks there.
Oh, yeah. And if only Truffles was had influence to charge in.
And in terms of health numbers, we've now got Estes on 11, Friday on 6, Bet Spigot on 15, but directly next to fill it. That's always going to be there if he wants to go.
And just get 2 VPs.
Yeah. So remaining activations are Truffles,
Phillip,
both with no influence on them, and then
Vetox.
Quaff and Friday.
Quaff and Friday. Now, what do you think Quaff can do here with any use?
Second wind on Friday to try and keep us safe after the goal, maybe?
Yeah, I guess. It's, 4-inch range, though, and he moves 6, so that's going to be 10 inches between them.
Yeah, it's probably...
I think second wind himself, get himself up
Yeah, he's
close.
too near the middle of the pitch. So what is it, 36-inch pitch, so 18 inches each way, and he's pretty central, so that's definitely more than 10 inches on a diagonal.
Yep.
Just so those watching the stream are aware, we are looking at the exact same picture they are as we're commentating this, so we don't have any super secret,
insight,
zoom-in tech that is...
A couple of attacks have come in from Veteran Ox there whilst we were talking. Veteran Spigot is down to 12, and another attack's just gone in, and it's been 5 net hits on the final attack, which brings him down,
9.
brings Veteran Spigot down to 9 health.
And then
moves around to that side. And
he heals 1 due to his melee zone rule. Up to 17. Very, very healthy butchers outside.
Very healthy butchers.
Meat hooks down on 7, but...
And a bucket of momentum generated for the butchers. Yep. Looking at 2, 4, 6, 7 momentum versus 2. So it has to be the goal here.
Should wipe out all that momentum, but needs to get something.
It points on the board and brings him closer back into the game.
The only concern is that Vet Spigot kill is so in the bank at this point.
That takes you to 8, and then it's a goal from the return kick-out ball.
Return on the kick-out.
But it might break the 12-0 curse.
Granted, positioning-wise, I mean, is there a good... Like, you can't get the take-out with fillet and score.
Goal.
And a goal for the Brewers, so that is 4 to Ed and 6 to Ryan. And he does take the dodge after so spends the momentum from that, and he's now engaging Veteran Brisket.
Which is a clever thing.
Yep. Just give us something to think about. Granted, in terms of the sort of what happens here, the parting blow isn't to fear.
Who are you on
That's Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears for
those that aren't familiar with the Who Are You plot card, that means when Ryan, the Butcher's player, wants to go in and gets a guaranteed 4 net hits.
Which on...
With Butchers tends to mean a dead Friday because she only has 6 health left.
Health remaining. And for Vet Brisket, that's guaranteeing hitting 3 momentous at least.
Yeah. So here's the kick out, unsurprisingly going over in the direction of Fillet.
Yeah,
basically, I think what we're going to see here is, I think he's going to stall the game out.
Going 6 inches in the 2.
So I think we're going to see him maybe stall the game out, go and grab that ball, go and take out Spigot. Fillet is entirely safe over there.
Truffle snapshot goal for the win.
Sure. I mean, I'd do that, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the drawer. I'm not sure if the Butcher's player is particularly keen on getting any goals this game. I think he's just going to go for takeouts.
Quite possibly.
And now, obviously, Fillet's activation to go and pick up that ball.
Oh no.
And just set up ready for next turn, because due to that 4-inch dodge from Friday, no momentum on the side of the Brewers.
Four inches to snap the ball to
and then
Fillet.
She's going to go
coming
forwards.
Back. Oh, no, going forwards.
Not sure about that. Not sure about that. I think I'd be more inclined to go backwards. Because the defence against that is bring on Pint Pot on that side of the pitch. But you can't bring Pint Pot on that side of the pitch because Fillet will just kill him again.
Yep.
So there's kind of that side of the board, as long as Fillet's over there.
It's just
Ed can't
scary.
bring players on to even contest that area.
No. And then everyone else, as we can see, is moving their way to where the other Brewers are, which means that even your players coming on unhealthy on that side of the pitch are also in a bad way.
And Ed needs to be really careful where he brings Pint Pot on here. Pint Pot needs to be coming on the same sort of place that Friday came on.
Get onto that fast ground, give yourself a few options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog is sprinting just to remove Philip's bounce option. So that's intelligent play.
That's safe move.
Basically, what this means is Ryan's going to have to
else.
generate some momentum and then score with Philip.
Yeah.
First world problems.
Yeah. So Esther is bleeding.
Esther is bleeding.
So takes 3 damage, leaving her on 11.
8.
Oh.
So we've got Esther's on 8, we've got Vet Spigot on 9, we've got Friday on 6, we've got Pint Pot to come back on, who
10.
will be on 10. And as Ed just said, I guess take your pick as to where you want your other 2 VPs to come from, because Philip's just going to go and score. Yeah. So Ed's kind of resigned to knowing what's going to go on here.
Yeah.
Interestingly, if it's not Esther's he kills, Esther's probably kills Meat Hook.
Yeah. 12-6.
And I'm with Gluttonous Mass, I don't know how reliably Meat Hook gets Esther's dead.
There's no bleed. No, she doesn't. I believe Meat Hook caps out at 3. 3 on her playbook. So 1 to trigger Glut, 1 to put on bleed, hits 3. 1 to hit that would be 7.
So she gets the +1 once the bleed's on.
Everything goes right.
Yeah.
Because she's back to Def 3 with 1 armor, attack 6. She can't do it. The best she can cap out at it in 1 turn against Esther's is 5 momentous damage.
Okay.
Tenderizer, on the other hand, now he could.
Could he?
Yeah. He can have 4 influence.
Is it reliable?
No. But he could.
But it's possible.
But it's possible. Definitely not reliable. He's got 3 momentous on 4 hits, so he has to hit with everything every time.
So Pint Pot coming on as where we thought he would.
Yep, onto that fast ground.
Again, Ed's skimping himself some distance, unfortunately, by not placing the model and then measuring from where the model's placed. But
yeah, so guys at home, what you do is you place your model and then you make your advance. So a nice way to do it with your tokens and widgets is to lay down the track that you want them to travel on and put your model at the end of it, back of the base touching where you would end your movement. And
or
that
alternatively, a proxy base that's the same size, a widget from the proxy base. Yeah. Just make sure you take advantage of the full distance you can go.
Yeah. Especially if you're playing models like Colossus or Veteran Catalyst, where you've got 50 mil of extra movement.
Yeah, because you get...
It makes a big old difference.
A big old way. And especially if you're playing Brewers, you need all the distance you can get.
Yep.
Especially against a team that's generally this quick.
Yep. So Ryan here eyeing up Friday with the Vengeance token, 6 health left on her, and a stacked up Veteran Brisket in front of her.
Interestingly, if I'm Ed here, you accept that that's happening. You activate Esther's, you legendary on Esther's, do it all on Esther's, and you go all in on trying to get Meat Hook dead.
Yep, get yourself some score, just some VPs, save some face.
I'd probably even be inclined to take that parting blow from Tenderizer. You've got the momentum to get rid of the knockdown.
You can't carry on moving. Oh, just to get out of range of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does, in terms of where you're standing, you've got Gluttonous Mass to protect you from the counter-attack, and just get as many dice as you can to try and secure that.
Oh, look at that. So, Vet Brisket there, hit with everything, which was 5 hits, -1 for armor.
So was this a counter-attack? Because this is Ed talking through his potential results.
I'm confused. We've missed something.
I'm lost.
Oh, what?
Did Ed... What?
Wait,
I'm
what?
So lost as to what's going on now.
Yeah.
Ed taking an activation. I thought it was the Butcher's player's activation.
Unless he's done something just like...
Oh, was it a counter? It must have been a counter.
It must have been. Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then that attack in doing nothing. So Brisket, so far, hasn't got a dead. Vengeance token's gone.
Yeah. Two hits coming in. Then one attack left after this.
So there's one attack left after this.
Remaining time, someone was asked. There is 13 minutes on Ed's clock and 23 minutes on Ryan's. Sorry, our chatter, we're trying to catch up to what happened and what chain of events led to this.
So 1 success. It looks like Friday lives on 1 health. Friday somehow lives through a vengeance token and 4 attacks.
Yep,
that's a big turning point.
That's huge.
But did get the 1 momentum. At least he got the goal. And there are many takeouts lingering.
He's got the shot on goal. He's got a shot.
But does he take it? That's risky.
No, you leave it. No one can come and get you from where that is on fillet.
Now, Esther's eyeing up fillet. I think you just take what you can get here and beat the tar out of Meat Hook.
You kill Meat Hook, assuming she didn't heal and we didn't miss that. That brings it to 6-6.
That may well have healed.
It would make sense to heal.
The only 1 momentum you'd assume out of 4 attacks with a vengeance token, you got more than 1 momentum.
Yeah.
So Friday is on 1 health, just to correct my notes.
Yep.
And I'm going to assume Meat Hook's on 11.
Okay. Unfortunately, she's got all her tokens on the card, so I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So we have got the legendary. You're right about that. +1 death to Friday, +1 death to herself, and +1 damage on herself. So that's a Death 5 Friday with probably a heal coming in after this.
You see, I still think the play here would be wander out. Just move that millimeter to get out of Tenderizer's melee zone.
2 net hits. A momentous 2 damage with a 1-inch.
So I'm assuming that is Meat Hook on 9.
Yep. If anyone in Twitch chat knows, did Meat Hook heal last turn? It looks like it. Her card is reasonably fine.
Potentially, maybe not.
There's only a little bit of a white. I think we're just getting a runner to go check it.
Maybe not. If she didn't heal, she'll be on 7 health now.
Yeah.
Sorry, if she didn't heal, she'll be on 5 health now.
I think we've got someone there. You can see his shoes just checking.
If she didn't heal.
Yeah, so she is on 5 health.
So she's only got 5 health left.
Surely.
So did he? So that 1 momentum is legitimately all the momentum he got out of those 4 attacks.
Yeah. So Ed just momentously knocked down Tenderizer. He's not gone for the kill on Meat Hook.
So he's done 3 damage on Tenderizer there?
Yeah, splitting damage, focus fire, kill someone, take them off the board.
Reduce the activations.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave... I mean, Meat Hook's just going to kill Esther's now.
Yeah.
Well, help kill.
So that's 3 net hits after that. There was a dice roll on the table, but Ed picked them all up. I think he hit with all of them as well on that one. 2 damage,
3
momentous.
Up to 3, is it?
No, I don't believe so. It's the 1 momentous, which becomes 2 with the song.
So Tenderizer's on 11. She spends 1 to heal herself. So she's on 12.
She's back on 9, he just said.
Oh. In that case, did she take some more bleed damage from somewhere?
And Esther's here deciding who to heal and who to spend momentum on.
Spends 2 momentum to heal up Friday.
Yeah, so Friday back on 5 health after a heal from Esther's. He spotted that Tenderizer could potentially have made his way over there to finish her off.
And the clock passes over to Ryan.
So what's the play here?
Yeah, I'm guessing he just goes with... maybe he thinks he's got faith that Ox can get Spigot dead by himself.
So 9 health on Spigot, who is knocked down, so he's 2s and 1 to hit. Ox has 7 dice and 3 momentous on 5 hits.
I don't think that's likely at all.
With 2s. 2s to hit. 6 is average.
So yeah, okay.
So he's not hit
average.
it on the first one. 5 dice. No, he has.
So 5 will be 3 momentous damage.
Yep. Momentous 3.
So V Spigot down to 6.
Yep. So he's bonus timing
He is
all
bonus
these just
timing
to ensure.
Ooh.
And he hits it again. The bonus time paying off.
Yep. So that will be him on 3 health.
Pain
and
train
then he
coming in.
bonus times the last one.
Remember the
Looking
old
for the
ways.
same
Remember the
result,
old ways.
And he looks like
And he's done it with the bonus time again. 2 ones, 5 net hits. Takes him out.
And Vet Spigot falls to Vet Ox.
That is 8-4 to Ryan Newland.
8-4 to Ryan. And then he's just in position. He just needs to go and slot
Yep.
that ball home with and I can't help but question Ed's decision on that split damage on Esther's.
Yep.
That was almost guaranteed Meat Hook dead if he just took that.
If all of that had been railed into Meat Hook.
I mean, it doesn't change the grand scape of things. But
no.
if you're pretty sure you're going to be losing the game, you try and get as many
just get
VPs
some
out of it
VPs,
as possible, just for
save face.
Yeah. The stream pressure.
Yeah.
When me and Jamie are sat here ridiculing everything, it gets to him.
So Ed here trying to find out the best thing he can do with his last activation before the shot on goal. Obviously, if the shot misses, then Ed should
Surely
play
it's
this.
mash. Just go and beat up Meat Hook.
Yeah. So Ed should play this as if the shot's going to miss.
Yes.
Play as best as possible.
Yep. Set up.
That's his only hope.
Set up as if this shot doesn't go in. This 4 dice tap in shot doesn't go in.
Yeah.
So just to clarify the dice that Ryan will be looking for on this shot, he'll be rolling 4 dice, and he will need 1 3.
It's super reliable.
And Ed is banking on that not going in to still be in the game.
Yep. I can't even be bothered to figure out the dice math on that. It's something like 97.
Sure.
Chance of success.
Why not?
Mash going in on Bet Brisket.
I don't understand why you'd... I mean, she's got 13 health. It's damage, just splitting his damage too much. I'm not...
It's focus fire.
And he's not taking advantage of crowd outs in the right places.
Nope.
So he's got 2 successes, 2 net hits on Mash.
Oh,
and he hasn't used Bag of Quaffers at all yet.
Nope.
He hasn't used Bag of Quaffers to any real end.
That's a nice one. How's that? Yeah, how's that?
So he's gone for a how's that. So how
Favorite
much damage
play.
is that in total?
0.
Wait,
he's done 1.
He's done 1, so Vet Brisket is on 12. That's a good roll.
Yeah.
And a non-momentous 3 damage out there to get her onto 9. So Ed, you're doing a good job of almost killing people.
Need to
You
finish
just
the
need to
job,
finish
so
them
fill
off.
it here.
And for the fillet activation
Binding
going
tap
in.
in range.
So there's that 4-inch widget down there to make sure
someone worked it
tap
out.
in range
98.76% chance of success.
on 1 hit. Okay then, so Ed banking on that 1.24% of that not being successful.
I'm calling it.
2.14.
No, 1 point.
Well, I got it right the first time.
Yeah.
My ass. I did maths.
I'm calling it now. You ready?
Oh God, that's just salt in the wound.
Yeah.
He parks in the goal.
Oh!
And he's missed.
He's missed it!
And he's missed it.
He's missed it. I called it.
So it's a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 2. The shot has missed. He is rounding. That makes him the 1%.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He is the 1%.
Oh my God.
That has missed.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I called that. It's going to snap back to her, but she has a full game turn now.
Rigged. Rigged.
Called it. Never worried.
Ed forever. I mean, basically, everything Ed's just done looks real smart right now.
Doesn't it? Oh, dear. How many dice rolled? They were
4 dice rolled.
4 dice rolled. 2, 2, 1, 1. Being called a witch.
I mean, you are a witch.
Yeah.
You should be burned. Burn the witch.
Brewers may regret all the non-focus damage now. I agree.
I think they'd be regretting that now, or whether that gone in or not.
Yeah.
That seems like a misplay.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever have the chance to take someone out
But for the first time, dependent on the way the rest of this turn goes, Brewers are going to be up on momentum.
Yeah, and then lose the dice roll off. And then Butchers choose to go second.
And unfortunately, no one died, so no one can come on and do anything about Philip.
Vet Spigot.
So Vet Spigot could potentially come on.
And die.
But get the ball off.
Yeah, get the ball away. Ball's gone.
Just boot that over there somewhere.
Ball's gone.
I'm pointing at the screen like people can see what I'm pointing at.
Big hits from the Brewers here. 6
massive
hits.
hit.
So that was Quaff charging in.
And taking 6 inches of push. And got... and she's off the pitch.
Mascot takeout! Mascot takeout! Mascot pushes Vet Brisket off the pitch. off the pitch. Off the pitch. What is this game?
What is going on?
What is this game? That is 6 VPs to Ed.
And Quaff getting a little pat from Ed.
Yeah.
Good with a good boy to go along with it.
And he's got one left. He's
Who's
wasted influence.
a good doggo.
He's wasted influence.
What a waste of influence that was with those attacks on Vet Brisket.
Yeah. if only imagine if Mash had gone and finished off Meat Hook, right?
Yep.
Then the dog does that. That's 8-8.
Where was the unpredictable movement? Did you just forget?
Forget, must have done.
Because that was kind of why I didn't see that coming.
No, or penned in.
Was the unpredictable movement just completely forgotten about by Ryan? Because Quaff shouldn't have even been able to get an attack off, let alone push them 6 inches off the pitch.
What is this? Look at Pint Pot there, getting
but
in.
Sure, why not? It's about time we had an interesting game.
The thing is, those pushes are all momentous. That was 3 momentous results. That was 4 momentum just generated.
Yep.
And
so Truffles is going to go in and see if he can emulate the dog.
Truffles will try and copy.
Yeah.
Go after.
Here you go. This is why you use. This is why you use mascots. The big wraps.
In goes the pig. Rocket sausage.
Rocket.
I'm calling it all hits.
You reckon?
4s and 1. Gluttonous Mass is gone.
Nope.
No. 3 net hits.
3 net hits.
3 net hits. -1 for the armor.
Knockdown or damage.
You take the knockdown, don't you? And then you make 1 more swing.
Yep.
But
so
Ed must have spent quite a bit of momentum.
Oh no! So he did have the additional defense. Forgot about that. So the knockdown not as big
potent.
A factor.
No.
And that is the end of that turn. Both players on 2 momentum, so it's a straight dice roll.
Surely, unless did Quaff heal someone?
I'm not sure.
Did Quaff heal Pint Pot and Pint Pot?
And the Brewers lose the initiative roll. 1 to the Butchers, 6 to the Butchers, and now it's just kind of a big question of. And Ed realizing that Friday never activated, and the nice cheery guy is just
I made a
shouting
mistake.
Profanities.
Yep. So Butchers win the initiative, choose to go second.
Interesting. They have the 1 momentum.
Because they want the momentum.
They just want that 1 momentum to try the shot
Try
again.
the shot again. Now,
so now Estes just needs to go and kill everything.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, Vet Spigot gets the chance to activate
to get
first.
that ball.
Get that ball away from Filler. Accept he's going to die in doing so. It goes to 10. The rest of your players aren't in a terrible place right now, besides Estes.
Yep. What a ridiculous game.
Yeah. But you can't kill them both in a turn, so you get a chance to react.
Oh, I don't. Estes is on 9 health.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just potentially the play here. That's
your kill, but you want Vet Spigot to get the ball, hoof it away. Butchers go, kill Estes.
Yeah.
So it's 10-6. And then Brewers are still in a rough spot, but Pint Pot can go in and finish off Meat Hook.
The issue you've got if Spigot comes in on Fillet is that's your bouncing point. Because assuming he goes in, he's standing directly in front of the goal.
Oh, well, yeah, but the ball's gone.
Oh, yeah, the ball's gone, but But then Philip can just keep bouncing backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I suppose. Stack of influence on Philip there because she can't.
Can
decide
she
for the
emulate the success of Quaff?
Yeah.
MVP Quaff. Pooch of the day.
Yeah.
And it looks okay. I
think Pint Pot's going to go in to kill Meat Hook. Then spend two momentum.
Do you almost feel here like Ed's forgotten he hasn't definitely lost?
Unless he deals with that ball.
Yep.
Yep, potentially.
Okay. So we're probably gonna see Meat Hook here. She's on 5 health.
Sid the coach, ball's gone, kick it off the pitch. I don't think you kick it off the pitch. You kick it far past yourself if you did that with Spigot, because you don't want it to scatter potentially
Pass
back
it
down.
to Mash. Boot it up and hope it goes towards Mash. Granted, that bit of terrain in the way is...
All right, so Pint Pot coming in here. 4s and 1, gets 3 hits after armor. 2 momentous.
So Meat Hook down on 3, if my maths is right, which Ryan confirms for me.
Second attack. Same. No, 1 momentous.
Non-momentous.
Dodging.
1 gone for that.
Oh, clever. Spend it.
And then he's going to use his...
Sure, he's going to... Why is he attacking? You just smash face and you instant killer. Use your character play, man. You kill her instantly. You don't have to roll dice. Why are you rolling?
Oh, dear. So he does get a dead. He takes the hard route, but he does get a dead.
So the thing that he could have done there, which would have been a bit more...
So that is 8 VPs for Ed also.
8 all. So the thing he could have done there is use Smashing Face when she was down on 2. That puts 2 damage on her, 2 damage onto Tenderizer, and then he can start spending his beer tokens for the dice that he rolled against Veteran Brisket against Tenderizer to generate more momentum.
Yeah. And then a momentous 2 damage on Tenderizer, I'm guessing there.
Pushing him into base.
So Tenderizer now on 9.
So Ed has generated 5 momentum through doing this.
And then spending
he's
some
just spending some.
And then he heals Estes up to 13. Right. Not sure how good Ed's maths is here, unless I've missed a damage somewhere, but apparently she's on 12, according to Ed.
All right. So Ed is banking, assuming here.
On another missed shot.
On another missed 3-dice shot. So, he's actually got more odds this time, more chance.
Yeah. But he does have about 4,000 influence on her. So if he misses, he can just... Well, no, he can't. He hasn't got enough momentum.
He hit. So he took the shot there with 3 dice, got 1, 2, 4. That's game. 12, 8 to Ryan.
That was a ridiculous game.
A crazy game. Should not have got to that point. But it's nice to see players with points on the board.
Yep.
And I can't help but feel Vet Spigot there should have gone in on...
So just a super entertaining game. I think I'm slightly confused at the end, as you were about to say, about Veteran Spigot not going in to get that ball off Philip. Yep. I'm not sure why. I mean, more to the point, I can't help but question why he didn't focus damage to get Meat Hook down when Estes was there.
Yeah.
And then just sort of slowly but surely eking it out. I mean, looking at the damage numbers at the end, you had Tenderizer on 9. Vet Brisket had just come back on with 9 after being pushed off the pitch by the dog, obviously. After forgetting about the unpredictable movement.
Yep.
And then Meat Hook was just killed there. And I can't help but think if you focus that damage, you get Meat Hook dead, and you possibly even get Tenderizer dead as well afterwards.
Because that damage that you've put onto me, the damage the Pint Pot just did is all on Tenderizer, which takes it down.
choices with those pint tokens.
Yeah.
Some really peculiar choices with those pint tokens.
A couple of guys in here just saying that they've, through us talking, just realised that when you spend the beer token to do Smashing Face, because it's a pulse, you don't need to roll dice to hit. You just do it.
Goes off.
It also hits your own friendly models, so you need to be a little bit careful because it's all models in the melee zone are hit. Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, you're going to have Pint Pot out on his own anyway.
Yeah.
The only player he generally wants to be anywhere near
Tapper
is within 4 inches of Tapper, assuming Commander's Aura's up.
Yep.
So generally, you shouldn't have anyone that's in risk unless you're trying to benefit from him.
Yeah.
Because obviously Roundy only works when they're benefiting him, but he can supply gang ups
to someone else.
For other players.
Yep.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, Very, very entertaining game. Good
Yeah.
to see Quaff do something. And I see him.
That's the first big Mascot play. Granted, we've seen 3 games,
Yeah.
but that was wild. I didn't see it coming, mainly because
the unpredictable
movement
is
meant
in the
safe.
game.
It was just another forgotten one. That's twice today that we've seen unpredictable movement forgotten about.
Yeah.
Brisket every time as well. Yeah, super entertaining game. It was good to see points on the board from both players. There was some peculiar
decisions. Mash has the high ground.
Mash. That was the
make that into a meme team.
Yeah, that was a peculiar one where you go and stand Mash on a big pile of logs.
A couple of questions here.
Yeah.
Sid the coach at Steamforged. Why not ball's gone off the pitch? Ball's gone grants a free pass, passes to another friendly model or target spot. So why not? Why not? Because if you bounce it off the pitch, you then roll a 1 on the direction and a 6, and hey, it's directly back on filler, and you've achieved literally nothing.
You want to take a bit more control over where that ball's going.
You pass it to a free spot, which is correct, but you do it sort of direct that line away from filler, just directly away. So that means she's got to go through him to get it, and then
she's got to go through him, and she's got to go backwards and forwards. And there's a strong chance that basically she's at a weird spot where she doesn't necessarily want to kill him. No, she wants to be able to get momentum off him.
Yeah.
And then the point token use was questionable at times, but it got it done. Don't get me wrong, got it done, but could have been a bit more efficient on it.
When we had 2 left, if you in any war game, if you can ever do something that does not involve rolling dice, do that.
Yeah.
Because dice will screw you over.
Don't rely on RNG if you don't have to.
No.
Got something that guarantees it happening. Just take it.
With Flask, you can either attack for Intensify or spend 2, and you don't roll dice. You spend 2 if it just kills someone.
Yep. Exactly, especially when you're just trying to get VPs on the board. But I said you almost got that sense towards the end of the game that Ed had resigned himself to loss and kind of he kind of couldn't see the forest for the trees on the fact that Spigot could have just whipped that ball off Philip.
And then Philip probably has to kill him.
Granted, she is in cover because she's next to the goal. It's 4 dice.
What's his card like?
I'm not sure.
Ball's gone on 2 hits. Not out the realm of belief.
Charge it.
Yeah, charge
then
in.
She defensive stance.
But that's that 1 momentum gone. Which just beats him up.
Yeah, maybe.
Tackle on 1 though.
Maybe we're being overly critical.
Maybe. I think there was options there for Spigot to get it, boot it away.
Good to see some mascots do something. Always love seeing mascots do something.
Seeing the mascots.
I hope I get a mascot goal at some point.
Oh, if only.
Turn 1,
that's
mascot
the dream.
Goal, Wrecker. Here's a Wrecker goal.
Come on, Masons.
Goal.
Get the
sort it out.
Right, well, I hope you've all enjoyed that one. We'll be back. There is 23 minutes left on the round and about 15 minutes for a break, so we'll probably see you in about 40 minutes' time for the final game?
Final round of the day, and then we've got the Q&A a bit later on after we've had some food.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So, thank you very much for watching, guys.
We'll see you again soon.
And we shall see you soon.